Are you looking to move to the St. Johns County area and you're wondering, what are my bills going to be like? What does it cost to live in Florida? And I don't mean groceries, things like that. I mean just like everyday living. If you're going to buy a home, how do your utilities compare? How does your insurance compare? Things like that. So today, we're going to dive deep into that using real life examples. I'm going to show you some of my bills to kind of give you a comparison. I'm Caitlin Blosser. I'm a local realtor and mom here in St. Johns, Florida, here to help you with any of your real estate needs, whether you live in the area now or you're looking to relocate here. I'm always just a click away, so don't ever hesitate to reach out. So let's start with utilities, because utilities can make such an effect on your monthly budget. So here in St. Johns and North St. Johns County, you're going to use JEA for both electric and water. With JEA, the base price for electric is $15.75, plus you have about 0.0868. I'll put the chart up right here per kilowatt you use. Water is broken up into 3 separate categories that you get billed on. You have your water incoming to your house, sewer, which is the water leaving your house, which is a cost because they do have to treat it. And then a big shocker to people moving here is we do have a lot of irrigation or reclaimed water. And reclaimed water can get pretty expensive. And reclaimed water is not drinkable, not really usable. It is wastewater that has been treated to use just for irrigation purposes. And all of your irrigation, it's always in a purple pipe coming to your house and just feeds your irrigation, not your hose water, nothing like that. Because here in Florida, and especially Jacksonville and St. John's, we have what's called St. Augustine grass, and it does need to be watered all the time. So almost every home is going to come with an irrigation system. You might have a well, but St. John's primarily does use that reclaimed water. So the pricing for each water varies, and it varies based upon how much you use. The cheapest water is $1.30, going all the way up to $6.39. And again, it's all based on like your usage, per month. So what does that mean like monthly for you? Because that's kind of all foreign numbers. So I live in a 2,800 square foot home. We do have a pool, and our JEA bill probably ranges from about $250 a month to some are $350. We've had some months go higher. It really just depends. I did ask a neighbor who owns the same exact home, same exact floor plan, literally 2 houses down without a pool. I'm a family of 4. She's actually a family of 5. She has 3 kids. And her bill, so mine were about mid 250 to mid 300s on average. Hers were kind of high 100s to mid 200s. So we fluctuate probably about $50, maybe a little bit, 100, depending on our usage a month. Just to kind of give you an example, because Florida is known for pool homes, and I know one of the questions is always, how does a pool affect my utility bills? Also in St. John's, we have a lot of gas communities, and here you cannot really shop for gas services if it is piped to your house. You are going to use TECO. If you do have like a buried propane tank, or you want to add gas to your house that doesn't already, then you can shop those services. But almost all new construction communities in this North St. John's area do use TECO, and it is pumped to your house. Now, TECO has a base price of around $30, and then you're obviously charged per your therm incoming into your house and how much you use. So in our community, and most communities near us, you'll have a tankless hot water heater that uses gas. You'll have your gas stove, gas oven, / gas cooktop, and then so that's really where your gas consumption comes from. All of our like AC heaters are just electric, but with a pool, gas heaters are very popular because gas is going to heat your pool quicker. So our house who has a pool, on average, if we're not heating our pool or our hot tub, and just like our neighbor who doesn't have a pool, our gas bills stay around low 30s, like sometimes mid $30. So not bad, but like last month we heated our pool quite a few times because it was beautiful out, but the water was too cold. And so our gas bill was up to like $160. So we really see the biggest difference in our utilities in the gas from the pool. You can also do an electric heater. People do solar heaters for their pools. There's a lot of options there, but just kind of wanted to give you the all encompassing thing there. Now, moving on to trash and recycling. So St. Johns County is split between a North Division and a South Division. It's pretty much cut by State Road 208. It does vary a little bit. It does go a little bit north, but kind of State Road 208 is the division between north and south. And one thing that's cool about this area, and I might be Florida altogether, I know it's the same in Duval County as it is in St. Johns County, but your recycling and your trash is all paid for in part of your property taxes. I know when we moved to Georgia, I was shocked when like trash was a service you shopped for, and like there were different colored trash cans like through the neighborhood because people all had different trash services. And now that I've had a lot of buyers move to Florida, they're always like, who do you use for trash? And trash is included in your property taxes. So if you're on the north side of St. Johns County, that is Republic Services. They do not provide you a trash can, so that is something you have to buy from Home Depot, but they do provide you a recycling can. There's two sizes to choose from depending on how much you recycle. I always tell my buyers, go for the bigger bin because I'd rather have it half empty than have it overflowing. And I will say, I love our trash service. They are so good with no matter how much you have piled on the curb, they will take it. Our recycling trucks are a little bit more picky. If like the top is open, if boxes aren't broken down, they will not touch your recycling bin. So keep that in mind if you do move here. So moving on from trash, let's talk about property taxes. So I went to onwell.com to try to get a basis for it. Property taxes they're all based upon your millage rate, which is varied by your taxing district. So with that being said, the average property tax rate in St. Johns County is 1.28%, where the state average is 1.35%. So as a county as a whole, we are cheaper. And then within St. Johns County, Ponte Vedra is the most expensive at 1.59%. And then Elkton, which is more inland, a little more south, a lot more rural, is at 0.94%. So we're kind of all over, but here in St. John's, city of St. John's, we area code 32259, just to put that again into perspective, the average tax bill is about $4,233, and the median is about $3,944. So our taxes, and that is off of the average sale price, which I think is around $550,000. Obviously, your taxes will be dependent on whether you homesteaded the property. If you didn't homestead, there's other deductions that can be taken. And then one thing, if you are looking here and you are looking at property taxes and you see like communities whose property taxes are like $8,000, $7,000, and you're like, whoa, how is it so different? Do keep in mind, we do have a lot of CDD communities here, and your CDDs, the CDD fee is paid as part of your property taxes, which I'll do a whole nother video on that. But so for example, my neighborhood does not have CDD fees where the neighborhood across the street does. So there is about a $3,000 difference in my property taxes versus theirs. Obviously that extra $3,000 is going somewhere else that mine's not, but keep that in mind if you're doing your own searching and you're wondering why some homes with this at the same price have such different tax bills. So now let's talk about insurance. So insurance is scary. Florida has had a lot of problems with insurance. There's a lot of insurance companies leaving the state of Florida just over the storms, roofs, things like that. I don't want to say it's slim pickings here for insurance, but it's definitely has gotten harder over the past couple years. And every major hurricane that comes and unfortunately has done damage has also done damage to our insurance industry. So if you look at homeowners insurance, Google says the national average is $2,377 and that Florida's average is $10,996, which is scary because that's almost $1,000 a month towards insurance. But I'm here to tell you that I don't think Google might be right for the Florida average, but here in Northeast Florida, that's not the case. My house was built in 2019. We are not in a flood zone. So we do have a newer roof and things like that, but our insurance is about $1,600 a year. I think it comes out to $138 a month. Insurance is really hard to quote. Most of the lenders I work with quote insurance as about $150. Like on the lender, like estimates, or mortgage estimates, a lot of them quote insurance to be about $150 a month. And then when you work with an insurance agent and pick your pick your house and they run true rates, then they adjust it. So we are nowhere near that $10,000 average. Obviously, it's so dependent on the house, depending on the age of your systems. I will tell you, Florida does not like old roofs. If the roof's over 10 years old, you might have a premium. Flood zones can also cause an increase in your insurance rates. But one thing about Northeast Florida, typically once you go north of about Cape Canaveral, we're not as much in the hurricane danger zone as the rest of the state. We do have some flood zones, but like our building restrictions aren't as strict as they are further south because the concern of hurricanes isn't there. And that's the same with, I get a lot of clients from like Jupiter or South Florida that like want to know where the concrete block homes are. And like, they want that over wood framed homes. And 90% of our homes here are wood frame because we do not have those hurricane risks, knock on wood, that South Florida does. So insurance here might be more expensive than where you're at, but I think the $10,000 average is probably more South Florida that unfortunately has seen so many hurricanes over the past couple years. So moving on, I figured let's talk about gas prices. It's something that's always in the news and depending on your commute, because as I've mentioned in other videos, St. John's is kind of a commuter county. Like my husband drives about 50 minutes a day to work because he works on the north side of Jacksonville. So gas is, and I mean, I drive all over town, so gas is prevalent. So I figured let's talk about it. So I went on AAA's website, and today, April 5th, the national average of gas is $3.58. It said Florida's average was $3.49. It ranked it about, there was like 5 levels, and we were in like the second highest level, like price for gas. But locally, the gas stations I drove by all today were all about $3.30. So our gas, I would say, is about national average, but I don't know what your gas is today, but that's where we are today. So these are all things, if you're looking to move to St. Johns County, that will affect your monthly budget. So I hope I covered everything. If there's anything I missed or any more information you want to know, I'm happy to share my information. Or dig up what I can to help with your to help assist you move to St. John's. So feel free to reach out. I would love to help you with your move. That's it for today. See you next week.